I did scour the entire internet trying to find a trace of you, and oh man, does it have presents?
You rejected me early on.
Okay, I had the reason for that. Can't believe I'm admitting that on the internet. Anyway, we can move along.
The following is a N.E.R.D Productions podcast.
Hi, I'm Eric, and I have an extra piece of bone on my knee.
Hi, my name is Annie, and I like to drag my husband to yard sales.
And this is Eric and Annie Talk About. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
You may speak.
Hello, everybody.
So, what have you been doing here in the past few weeks?
Well, we've done a lot in the past few weeks. Always get some more books.
That's true.
We've been to Books A Million a lot.
Yes, we do go to we stay at the Books A Million.
We live there, and we never buy anything.
No, we go to look. We go to look, and then we buy it for cheaper at other places.
Yeah.
I've walked between up in town, local reference, but between the Books A Million and the Sam's to get a book, because the Sam's had the book for cheaper. But I comparison shopped in real time.
That's how we save money for all.
Yes, and feel free to comment any books that you see in the background.
Please tell us your favorites.
Yes, I don't know what that's going to do, but we should do a recommendation segment.
We should do a recommendation.
Before the end of this episode.
You'll get a recommendation.
We'll get a recommendation. We'll have our producer, Roger, take pictures of all the books that we recommend and then pop them in. We got a turtle.
We still have to take
We did.
We did get a turtle. He's a rescue.
Yeah.
His name is Franklin. He's very coolio.
He's so coolio.
Franklin's friends.
He had bear. Right? There was a bear? No, there was a bear in Franklin.
How big was Franklin?
Huge, evidently.
Because he was the size of a bear.
What were his other friends?
He had a beaver.
Yeah.
She was cranky. She was not a nice person, really.
His mom turtle and his little sister turtle with the bowling head.
Yes, he did. I'm a family.
That was what most turtles do.
Non-turtle characters. Well, today, thank you for keeping us on track, Mr. Producer. Today, we are talking about the show itself, some stories from our life, so you can get where the perspective is coming from. So,
be true to yourself.
We've been married a month?
Just over a month.
Just over a month. And where did we meet first? Have we ever definitively decided that?
The first time we definitely met was at the Easter egg fill-up. That was the first time we talked, at least.
Oh, in my mind,
the Cool City Community.
In my mind, I go back to the Cool City Community.
We want to
BBS.
reference. We could just say the church.
The chances of so far in my mind, anybody who listens to this knows.
Okay.
So, and then if it goes beyond that, nobody would know.
That's true.
That's my thought. I don't think they have a website. I think you have to be 70 to get a membership there.
Well, that's where we technically met.
I was performing on stage, and she just couldn't get enough of my Christian military sergeant character who handed you a Captain America shield on stage, producer Roger. Or our argument behind the scenes. That was just acting, legitimately, but we got called out by our father for arguing. No, it's in the script. But yes. We did not, I don't know if we talked there, though.
I don't remember if we talked. Because I don't necessarily, no offense, remember you. What? But it's in the pictures. It's not... You don't. It's in the pictures. No. You were standing... And I remember going to that church specifically, and then your dad called my dad to preach there one time. And I remember him being like, "Hi, these are my sons. This is Roger. Shake hands. This is Eric. Shake hands. And this is Nate. Shake hands." And y'all shook hands with my dad, and I remember very specifically. And I was like, "Hey, that middle one's kind of cute." And that middle one's my husband.
To quote The Secret Admirer, that we all know in this room, but we will not mention names. No offense, but I wasn't looking at any of your brothers. Maybe everybody's NBA. I said a joke for your benefit and you didn't give it. Don't worry, you'll hear it when it comes out.
Yeah.
You had some stalker tendencies. You want to talk about that?
Why don't you share your story?
I think because you know the extent better than I do.
I did scour the entire internet trying to find a trace of you, and that man doesn't have a presence except for N.E.R.D Productions. I looked high and low. I looked high and low for your YouTube channel, and I could not find it. It was nowhere.
Most people don't.
I couldn't find it.
Subscribe, everybody. Subscribe to N.E.R.D Productions.
Okay, but I didn't look until after the Easter egg fill-up at Open Door when we started going.
Okay.
Because you were telling me about it, and you were telling me about the Wooten, but I didn't know what it was called. And you were just saying our baby sister was like the Baby Yoda character, and that's all I had to base off
I was not a very good promoter because I named the name of the show but didn't tell you where to find it.
Yeah, well, I didn't even remember. So...
You were wearing a yellow hoodie?
Yes, I was, and you were wearing a green jacket.
It was blue.
No, it was green.
It was blue.
That is a green jacket,
I had
Eric.
the jacket.
I saw it the other day.
Pull out the jacket. You're good. We will throw in a photo of that jacket if we can.
Or we can throw in that picture of the Easter egg hunt. I have it.
You have that still?
Yep.
Yes, we'll drop that picture. You rejected me early on.
Okay. I had the reason for that.
My wife's a feminist here. Sometimes she tries to open her own door when we go somewhere. I'm like, whoa.
I know.
I told you this. The first time I distinctly remember, besides the Easter egg hunt interaction, and I'd forgotten about this till she told me. Do you tell it or shall I?
Go ahead.
We were at church, and like a good Christian young man, I was moving chairs.
Well, we were all moving chairs. We were helping move them from the gym up the stairs.
Big up people. Turn around. They were moving the pews up. Scandalous. Some of those pews were stinking heavy. They called it the executive because it was huge and made out of solid oak. And some of them, like the seat flipped up and there were a bunch of coins in it. You know, that was the rich family's pew. We moved that out and we moved to the more new style chairs that interlock. Auditorium seating, if you will. And to go, they were having, because part of youth ministry, a good portion of that is child labor. So like, hey guys, let's move this heavy stuff to this other area. Cool, we'll do it. So we're carrying it up the steps, and I, ever the chivalrous one, was like, hey, let me get that for you. And what did you say?
I believe it was along the lines of, I can get it myself.
And I said, I know. Yay! Grabbed the chair, threw it on the stack. Hero of the Year award. I don't think she was very happy with me.
No.
But she also told me that she was struggling.
They were heavy chairs.
They were.
And I think I had like 2 stacked on top of each other.
Well, I carried 10.
All the way up the stairs.
What other interesting things happened? I remember one time I tried to discuss books with you and you totally shut me down. I will give the camera. The camera is me in this scenario. I am her and her sister in this scenario, but not in a weird way. So the camera, me, I was just like, hey, books, talking about some of my favorites. Then this was her. Oh, that's nice. Cold shoulder. I was like, oh, well, that door got closed.
I don't remember that.
I distinctly remember that.
There was this one time.
It's crushing.
Okay, well, I'll tell you the story. Are you ready?
Okay.
There was this one time when we were doing in the Owanas Carnival, right?
Yes.
I forget what time it was, but the Scots were there, my friends.
Was I dressed up like the cowboy?
We were dressed up like the cowboy, yeah. And
weird story.
me and Joel had got our hair cut. Not relevant. Anyway, we walked in, and me and Nate did the booth together, and we were giving out the prizes for the tickets. And you walk up, you spill a drink all over the floor. I think it was Pepsi.
Kid spilled a drink.
Okay, well, you're the floor, probably. Your drink was all over the floor.
I was like,
You walk up and you talk to Nate and you're like, hey, Nate, can I get some paper towels? I already made a mess. I'm like, wow, already such an early start. And he looked at me like I was the stupidest thing ever. And he looked away and I was like, okay, I'm sure there's something I gotta do. I'm leaving. The biggest crush on you. And he looked at me like, I'm like,
Although,
fine.
if I did a lot of the stuff she did, I would be labeled a creep.
Okay.
Which is unfair.
Well,
She's just over there like, he's spilling his Pepsi.
help it. You were looking good.
I wear the tightest boots I've ever had on in my entire life. I think the only tighter I'd ever had. Do you remember that time we were digging a ditch? And it was foggy. And it was... we were behind where the bridge is now. Do you remember that? It was one of the worst days of my whole life. But I remember I was having toilet troubles. We won't go into that. Or I was either sick or just needed to get out of there. But I remember wrestling for like half an hour to try to get these boots I had on off so I could go to the restroom.
Oh, no.
Upstairs. But I'm not sure how much of that was I was stuck and how much of that I wanted to waste time because I was miserable.
Fair.
But yes, those boots hurt. They were Roger's from when he was like 14 years old.
The ones you wore to the carnival?
Oh, they were so tight.
Actually,
I thought those were. I
Those
thought
were
they were
Papa's?
Papa's boots. I thought that's what you told me.
Yes,
Guess he had small feet.
I guess. Well, they were Papa Daniels. He was a small man.
Oh yeah.
So that checks out. But they were so painful to wear.
were they the tan ones or the black?
The tan
Yeah.
ones or your old black ones. I forget which ones they were. They're probably pictures. Andy probably has a few of them.
I didn't take any pictures.
The tan ones for gunslingers, and you complained that they were tight.
Oh yeah, that was true. My whole outfit was tight in that video. Put up a content warning before you play that. Oh, tell about your friend that was there with you, who almost revealed your whole secret.
Oh yeah, at the carnival. So at the carnival, some of my best friends, like brothers and sisters to me, and we were really good friends with their whole family. So we invited them to church, and they came. They just happened to be there for the carnival, so they were helping. And my best friend, Bella, I'll name drop her. She won't care. She knew I had a crush on Eric because I had a crush on him for a while. So I would tell her about him and everything. Yeah, he had no clue, and I was obvious. Anyway, that's here for a second. And I was like, "It's him over there in the cowboy boots." And like she pointed, and she was like, "Him?" I'm like, "Yes, put that finger down." I'm not pointing today.
Not the game we're playing today.
No, ma'am. She's like, "I'm on in the cowboy hat," and I'm like, "Could you please be a little bit more fun here?"
It was ironic.
Ring toss.
No, it was ring toss. We
Yeah.
rebranded it as lasso.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
I think I
Like, why
saw.
is it cowboy themed?
I looked over there, and some kid was trying to throw it up on your hat, and you're like, "That's not where it goes." I remember that. It was a little kid.
I'm willing to blame kids, but when they hit a certain age,
Well,
You
he
know,
kept
like-
trying to do it, and it was a certain kid,
the one we named
No.
earlier, his brother.
the Silent Night kid.
We did a music ministry together as well for the little kids, if you could call it
Yes, we
that.
did.
Skip it ahead a little bit. Well, go ahead and tell me. So, okay, I got to the point where I'm like, it's on. I like this girl. Let's narrow the focus, buddy. And then,
His focus was so wide before.
no, it's just, not focusing on 3D printing as much. Not focusing on doing nothing. So go ahead and, the story I'm referring to.
Okay.
We'll do this one together, but you go ahead and tell your part of it.
Okay. Well, your mom had asked me to sing with the kids.
Mhm.
And so I did. And I was like up there with my guitar and I was singing for them. And then there were some songs I wanted to do and I needed a male voice for it. And I was talking to my mom about it and she's like, "How about you ask Nate?" And I'm like, "No, it wouldn't work. He's not right for the part. I don't think it would work." And then when we were talking, it was me, your mom,
Yeah.
my mom, and you. You were just there, I think.
I
You
feel like
were.
Roger and Nate were there
You
too.
might have been. Yeah, maybe we were all there. But I wasn't necessarily talking to you. You were just happened to be there. And I'm like, "Man, I really need a big, strong man to, help me sing with the kids on
I was
Wednesday."
like, this is my chance. I'm like, I'm going to play this situation. Well, I could help if you'd like,
Really, yeah, that'd be great.
And then a little bit later, I was like, wait, did I play her? Did she play me? It was the answer. I was playing like a cheap fiddle.
No, but after you did slide in there, I'll give you those points because after the first time we sang together, I'm like, are there any songs you want to do? And you're like, yeah, there's a couple I want to do. And I was like, okay, well, you can just write a list maybe and tell me Sunday. And you're like, or I could just text them to you. And like, here's my number. And I texted you that night, but I texted the wrong number, and you were freaking out.
I was freaking out because she didn't text me for like 3 days, and I'm like, well, she's that theory in the head.
I thought I texted. I just texted the wrong number.
The shame that she texted a love letter to the wrong number.
It wasn't a love letter, I don't think, at that point.
I've always
Hey, Eric, I'm in love with you.
I've stared at you for many hours now.
I wasn't going to say that. I don't think I told you that until like we were engaged.
Live streams
Okay, I did go back.
and over and over again.
I did watch those over and over. There was this one song you sang I had never seen before. I can't believe I'm admitting this on the internet. I had never heard before, and I watched it so many times and I knew the song.
What song was it?
It was From the Inside Out by Seventh Place.
No, my freaking country though.
Well, I like when I listen to it now, it's the 7 Day Slumber version because it's the better one.
And the way I got roped into music ministry in general was it's a wild ride. It all started when I was 6 years old, singing my favorite Alvin and Chipmunks song selection at a Wednesday night service. I think it was Wednesday night. Was it Sunday night?
I don't know.
The way I remember it, I don't believe the time was near. But I sang Christmas time is near at any rate. And everybody laughed. I was like, well, did not achieve desired results, so I'm going to check out of that forever. Then I'm riding in the back, and my father has a box of ice cream sandwiches up the front of the vehicle, and I'm like, I want me one of those. And he's like, well, whoever sings can have a ice cream sandwich. So I sang my a cappella version of Coming for to Carry Me Home from the show Psych. I sang that arrangement from the funeral.
Same day?
No, that's years later.
Oh, I don't think you said that.
That's in the modern era.
Modern day.
Modernish day, like 4 or 5 years ago, is when the a cappella Swing Low Sweet Chariots happened. And then he's like, wow, you sing good. You should sing with your mom. I'm like, maybe. I was not interested in that activity. Like I said before, did not work. And then I get home and Dad's like, hey, instead of maybe, how about you pick some to practice? And then I think I started singing that Sunday. And never stopped since.
So we went to a different church.
Until we went to a different
They're
church.
still trying to rope you in.
2 weeks of
Oh yeah,
having
not
to sing
singing.
every Sunday. And then we sang, and we've sang every service since. So
There you go. You can't escape it.
you can't escape it. Anyway, we had this one kid named and
Can't say that.
Well, they were multiple.
there were multiple.
So
Anyway, he was always like, I want to sing Silent Night. I want to sing Silent
Christmas,
Night.
though.
No, it
It's nothing to do with
And then
Christmas.
finally Christmas time rolled around. He's like, can we do Silent Night? And we sing it a few times. And then even after that, Silent Night. And then even up to the last thing I sang with them was at Easter. And we did a presentation with the kids. And I was like, think of other songs that you'd want to sing like next time. He's like, Silent Night.
Can't sing that on the other. He's a sweet kid. He just really, most of the time.
One time I was just sitting in church, and this kid walked over to me, and he had a thumbtack in a piece of tape. He just said, hey, wham! Jammed the thumbtack into my leg.
What?
And then he had the piece of tape like a handle, like he's learned this tactic in prison. And he just stabbed me in the leg.
But here's the thing. That was my favorite kid I taught.
I'm like,
I don't know why he hated you so much, but he loved me. Every time I saw him, he would run up and hug me.
he did that to me, if I'm not mistaken.
He's my favorite.
They hugged me like they saw me where I was working at the time. They just came up and hugged me.
I really miss those kids.
But I was just sitting minding my own business when church is about to start. He just comes over. I'm like, oh, I did. Like, if you were related, you would have no teeth. Like, you ever had those moments you're like, I've never wanted to punch a kid more?
Not that kid.
Oh, me neither.
My siblings.
Your siblings, that's true. I've wanted to punch them a few times.
My siblings.
You know yourself. I don't know if that's true, but
I know who you are.
yeah, you know if you did.
Well, you never really got to how you started dating.
Oh,
You got the number.
well, I got the number and it spiraled from there.
Oh, okay.
We went to a park for the first one.
Mhm.
Right
before that, we went to Judgment House.
Yes.
And
Which is a haunted house for Christians to scare kids into heaven. Basically, all you need to know about that.
but yeah, well, here, hold that for a second. I'll explain.
Yeah.
So, Judgment House, if you've never been, I don't think it's a local thing. I think it's more broad.
I don't know if that specific one, but the idea is not a local thing.
Yeah. So it's like a walkthrough play. Like you walk into different rooms and it's like a different story and it like tells the story like in little pieces.
Yes.
If that made any
With
sense.
different actors playing the
Yeah.
same characters,
But
but they
the
weren't
same
the same
shirt.
clothes. I thought that was a cool way to do it.
It was a cool way to do it. But anyway, that's not necessarily relevant. We were in the lobby. We were waiting for our turn because only one group can go through at a time. So we were sitting in the lobby and we were waiting for our turn. And I think we were playing Uno. And Eric had asked me on our first date, but we hadn't gone on it yet. I think we were going on it like the next Monday. And it was like Saturday maybe or Sunday.
Sunday.
Something like that. So the next day. And so we knew that we liked each other. And so we were sitting together and we were playing cards.
Uno, I believe.
Now,
Pimento?
just one chick
Pimento?
about this channel.
Hmm.
So I don't have to be nice, okay? Be nice.
Easy.
No, we won't allow. I'll just say the chick. And this girl, I tried very hard to be her friend. Okay, like I was not mean to her. I tried so hard to be her friend. I let her do so many not nice things to me, but that's beside it.
She one time, I will insert. This is the point. She one time during the message, if I'm not mistaken, just went over to Annie's shoes and untied them and retied them, and was like, "I didn't like the way you had them tied."
She also tied my shoes to Joy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I didn't like the way you had them tied." She used to hit me in the head with Bibles.
Yeah. So okay, I wasn't the biggest. I was on rough terms with her, not because of how she treated me, but how she treated Eric, because she was mean to him, and I was not having it, even before we were dating. So anyway, we were about to go on our first date. We were at Judgment House playing games together, and she just comes up behind him and gives him the biggest hug ever, and she was like, hugged him from behind. No, his face was like,
Me too.
and then,
Hashtag me too.
not today. And then I was not having it. And I was telling my mom about her, so I was looking over at my mom, and I was like, you've seen this? Because my mom was the chaperone.
She's like,
So affectionately, we call it
the lady,
Lady Silk Glove.
which is her. I have an alter ego that's evil and French. She has an alter ego that's evil and British. So mine is Eric Mitchell. It's my French evil moniker. Hers is Lady Silk Glove. The
For when
third
I'm
and a half,
angry.
if I'm not
I
mistaken.
believe you're correct, yeah.
But that is what we call that look, the Lady Silk Glove. And it's just
Yeah.
like,
I was not
and
having
you
that.
just send it to each other in times of utter disappointment.
But that was like my last straw, though. Like, she hit you in the head with Bibles.
Multiple times. That wasn't a one-time assault.
She told me your beard looked bad. And we weren't even dating. I just had a crush on you. And I'm like, Mom, I was having a hard time. But, you know, it's okay. It's okay.
You don't say it like it's true.
But I don't think I'm a mean person. I just don't like it when people attack you. Like, that is what makes me angry. When people, you know, are like mean to you, I'm like, okay, we're not.
That's true. Follow up on your big wheel story that we told about in the promo.
Okay. Well, one day my dad was pastoring this church up in Charleston when I was little. I was in kindergarten, first grade at the most. And he was inside painting the church. And I was painting too, but I got kind of restless and I wanted to go outside. So he brought my big wheel. I got it out of the truck. I don't know if it had a theme.
Oh, okay.
It was just a red one.
We had a red one.
Just a regular red one. And I was little. So I was riding my big wheel through the parking lot while my dad was inside, and I was like, doo 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 doo. And I think I saw like a worm or something. For some reason, I put my hand on the ground, and then I ran over my finger with the big wheel, and blood squirting everywhere. It was bad. I know. I still have the scar. I don't know if the camera will see it, but it's right there.
Oh,
my ring
we do
finger.
not tolerate that kind of gesture on this show. Okay, sorry.
Scar. And yeah, that really hurt. And I can still remember how it feels.
You see, I have a similar story with the big wheel, except I had found this big worm, and we were waiting to go to Bob Evans with my mom and Papa Daniels, because they love to go to Bob Evans for whatever reason.
Love the Bob Evans.
And I laid out this big long worm that I found, and I ran him over with my big wheel. And then I forget if I felt so guilty and remorseful for it. I forget if that was before or after, but I remember Dad having a talking to about it with me, which is strange because, I mean, worm killing is not the biggest thing. But I forget.
Canceled.
I know. First episode
already got us canceled. But I don't remember why I did it. But then I remember being like, Dad, I ran over a worm. Or alternatively, he was like, why did you do that? Like, can you explain why you did it? Or something like that. And I'm a kid. Like, I just ran over a worm, but now I feel bad. Well, do we want to do the game and then do the wrap-up story?
Okay.
Because it has a call to action at the end of it.
So, I have been... Close your eyes for a minute.
You haven't told me what the game is. I don't know.
I've tortured you and called it the secret game. Okay, you can look now.
Okay.
So, the secret game, honey, is this morning I made you leave the room and I sat in the library and I scoured N.E.R.D Productions and I got some of your quotes from N.E.R.D Productions. These are your quotes and you have to guess what they're from.
Okay.
Okay? Now, these are words you have said on the internet, on this channel, and you have to know what it's from. You get a point if it's an episode of something. You get a point if you name the show and the episode. Okay?
Okay.
But not all of them are episodes, so some of them are only 1 point. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Kill everybody.
Yay!
Anyway.
Okay. Are you ready? Do you think you're prepared for this?
I hope so.
Okay. This can either be good or really embarrassing. Okay. Okay. So this is a line where somebody said a line and then you said something.
This is a reaction line.
This person said, and if you can't get it, I'll tell you the person.
Okay.
It's called an assumption. And then you say, it's called the truth. You know? Do you know?
Assumptions.
Just let me know if you need me to tell you who the person is.
Character name or person name?
I'll tell you the person, because if I tell you the character, then you'll get it.
Fair. Yeah, go ahead and tell me who said that to me.
Nate said, it's called an assumption. And you said, it's called the truth.
That would be, I'll say, Feel Good from The Good Days.
No.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Is it like a Sherlock Cooper?
It's not Sherlock.
No.
The Dennis?
It's Dennis Cooper. Do you know what?
It had to be a mystery.
Yeah.
That?
The Slippery Saga Part 3.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You see, I thought that reminded me of a dialogue that I had written between a character, me and you, from an as yet unreleased project coming soon, hopefully.
All the ones are public.
Okay.
All the videos you can go back and watch. You should.
Also, if Nate plays along as he continues, just put up his face in the corner like, whoop,
Yeah.
for his.
Oh, don't worry. Some of these lines are more iconic. Some of these you'll get.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Seeing as I have one of the most powerful weapons in the universe in my possession, why should I give it to you?
That is Dr. Pepper from The Experiments 2.
Hey, good job! 1 point. You want it? Okay, are you ready for the next one? Okay. Brother, how did you get back so soon? Let's talk about it over tea.
How did you get back so soon? Let's talk about it over tea. I can't because in the accident, I forget, it wasn't this articulate. I have my esophagus. Broke my esophagus. You couldn't hear anything in those old videos.
True, I had to rewind, like,
That was still good trying to get this.
do you know what episode?
That was the first one.
Yeah, that's
But if you watch it with subtitles, it's even funnier because it doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know what to do with it. It's like a pause. It's like, this is dialogue.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, I'm
Okay, this is iconic. You're gonna get this one. This is from one of my personal favorite nerd production shows. I mean, I've been doing some weird things lately, like eating out of the trash, but that's weird on a whole new level.
That is Eric from N.E.R.D Productions, the show.
What episode is it from?
The first one.
What's it called?
The quarantine special.
Yay! 2 points!
All right. Spearheaded that video. Thank you very much. Because I was like, hey, Roger, let's do a show where I do weird stuff like eat out of the cereal and eat out of the trash.
And those are my favorite ones. Yeah.
I pretty much wrote what little writing there was for that episode. And we filmed till like 1 a.m. Initially. Those
Solid
scenes. Yes, anyway.
Okay, you ready? We have 4 more.
Okay.
We're halfway through. Okay,
We're halfway there.
we're halfway there. Squidward on a chair.
Exactly. I had to say it.
Yes, that was a lovely day when we saved the Queen's life. Yes, but it wasn't quite this cold.
Yeah, super.
Yes.
Well, we were in the dungeon.
It's even better when you say the next line. Okay.
I thought it was Miss Professor Trix. What was it? Who did I think it was? Anyway,
Anywho,
yes, that's true.
Uncharted Planet, huh? Didn't think it'd be this easy to find. It's an easy one.
Uncharted Planet. Didn't think it'd be this easy to find.
Yes. Do you know what episode it was in?
Episode 1?
Yeah. Good.
Tell by Roger's eyes when it was to episode 1.
I was also the robot.
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Yes.
No, it's surgical bandage. Never run out of surgical bandage kit.
I don't know this.
This is a deep
Oh, was that Space Journeys 2?
No, I got it. I got it. Can I say?
Sure. He doesn't get the point.
That is Eric. He's a doctor saying to me in what's it called? A little sketchy. But it's the Midnight Zone or the
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
that's
Midnight
part
Zone.
of a little sketchy.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't realize that.
I've seen the clip version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
Nate's head
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, are you ready for the last one?
Yeah.
I feel like this one's kind of obvious, so
Okay.
you should get a pity point.
I'm like, what?
I was trying to find it. Okay, I was just riding my bike out here. Beautiful day for a bike ride.
That was from out of this world.
Yeah.
We could do a whole episode on the development show. That production.
Okay.
Title of the development heck of Out of This World.
God, do you know how many points you got?
How many points did I
You got 9.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good, baby.
That's good. How many points did you get? No, 9.
You did good. That was a pretty good game.
Okay. So before we wrap up, I have one final story to tell, and then a call to action to any of you out there listening. So I have a secret. I'm coming out of homeschools to the audience. But anyway, so that joke aside, I went into a homeschool prom. No date, because that's just the kind of guy I am.
Did you just feel the urge to hold your mother close and dance the night away?
No, but that has been quoted by other people reviewing this story. I went with my brother and my mom. Real chick magnet when you come with your mom. So we went, and it was at a country club, and so we went there. There was dancing. There was inappropriate music. My mom sat in the corner and dissected the lyrics to these songs. You know what that means?
Poor mom.
You gotta have her on. Defend yourself, mother.
I was gonna say, I do not stand for this because I know she's gonna walk in. I love you, mother.
He's like, what do you mean, tattoo on your shoulder? There was a
Closer,
DJ.
the Chainsmokers.
Stop playing. Mom's like, they are saying what I think they are saying.
So mean. Anyway,
No, it's not. It's hilarious. And if you met the woman, you would think it was funny too.
I'm at the woman. Anyway, continue. I'll stop.
Anyway, the DJ was named DJ Jazzy Jamie. Shout out if you're out there. But anyway, all that aside, I am not a dancer, so I went out on the balcony and just talked to people. Some people I knew, but some people I didn't know. And one of those people was a girl.
I still heard that.
I'm sorry. So the way I picture it, I'm pretty sure she had blonde hair, right? I don't know if Nate remembers, but I remember it: blonde hair, blue dress, and to me, she looked like Darcy Lynn from America's Got Talent.
It's not a good thing that you remember. She might hurt you. And it might hurt.
No, because I don't think she looked like Darcy Lynn. I think it was just around the same time frame. Blonde-haired white chick, Darcy Lynn. And then, at whatever point in the conversation, with me, I talk about my life raising chickens and goats and how I got the scar in my forehead. We'll tell you about that in another episode. And then, at one point, I met her parents. She's like, "Hey, here's my father. This is Eric, Dad."
Jumping right in.
Shaking hands. Hi, how you doing? And so we're talking. We're looking out over the golf course. It's night now. Then the song changes, and she's like, "I just love this song." And she looks over at me, and I look back and I say, "Well, you can definitely go dance if you want to." And we wonder why I never noticed that Annie was. I don't have the greatest track record. So she left and I never saw her again. So if you're out there somewhere, blonde Darcy Lynn lady, who I snubbed at the homeschool prom, we'd love to have you on as a guest.
Reach out to me on Facebook, seriously.
Reach out to my wife on Facebook.
You want you on?
Handle on the screen.
It's just Annie Wooten.
Okay.
And it has our faces on the profile picture.
Faces on the profile picture.
Have you thought of how to end the episode?
No, I was just thinking about that. I was like, wait, I have to come up with a name.
Finger guns.
Finger gun.
Your next.
The audio.
Or do a finger gun. I can do the finger guns and you can say she's doing finger guns.
Well, that was... well, that was fun. We'll catch you next week on Eric and Annie Talk About.
Catch you.